Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the incredible documentary Honeyland. It's this really powerful story about a woman, her bees, and a very delicate balance that's about to be shattered.
And honestly, the entire story, everything you're about to see, it all comes down to this one simple rule. It's this ancient principle for survival, and it is the absolute heart of this film.
So to really understand this world, first we've got to meet the person right at the center of it all, the amazing Hatice Muratova. So who is she? Well, Hatice is one of the last people in Europe who keeps bees this way, out in the wild. She lives a life of, well, almost total solitude, completely off the grid. I mean, no electricity, no running water. It's a life built on tradition and this really deep, almost spiritual connection to the land around her, all while caring for her ailing mother. Her whole existence is guided by this one philosophy: half for me, half for you. And look, this isn't just about honey. It's a code of conduct. It's a promise. By leaving half for the bees, she makes sure they'll survive, and that in turn guarantees her own survival. It's this perfect, sustainable cycle. Hatice's life, it's harmonious, it's stable, but it's also incredibly fragile. And as we're about to see, that delicate balance is about to be put to the ultimate test. And then all of a sudden, she's not alone anymore. The Hussein family moves in next door. They bring a totally new dynamic. They're loud, they're chaotic, and when they look at the bees, they don't see a shared resource. They see a potential gold mine. And this is the moment everything starts to change. And right here, you can see the central conflict laid bare. On one side, you have Hatice's ancient wisdom, all about long-term survival and respect. And on the other, you have the neighbor's modern commercial mindset, which is all about short-term profit. It's a total clash of two completely different ways of seeing the world. So, what happens when that ancient rule gets ignored? Well, the answer is a pretty devastating ecological crisis, and it's all set in motion by a single choice. You can see the tragic chain reaction start. The neighbors, they get desperate for a big payday, so they take all the honey. Their bees, with nothing left to eat, start to starve and get aggressive. So what do? They attack Hatice's healthy colonies, just desperate for food, and in the process, they destroy the very ecosystem that sustained everybody. And just like that, a story about one woman and her bees becomes something so much bigger. It's this powerful allegory for what's happening on a global scale, a perfect, tiny example of how greed can unravel the fragile systems that we all depend on. You know, the story itself is absolutely incredible, but the way the filmmakers actually managed to capture it, well, that's just as remarkable. This was not an easy film to make. The directors, Tamara Kotevska and Lubiomir Stefanov, literally embedded themselves in this world for 3 years. Can you imagine? They patiently shot over 400 hours of footage just to tell this story with the kind of depth and authenticity it really deserved. And they chose this path of pure observation. There's no narrator telling you what to think, no interviews. They only used natural light. And the effect is just profound. You're not just watching a movie. You feel like you become this silent observer, sitting right there with them in the hills of Macedonia. And the results of all that patient, immersive work? A film that was just universally adored. I mean, a 99% certified fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes is practically unheard of. It just goes to show you the raw, emotional power of Hatice's journey. And its success was genuinely historic. It just swept the Sundance Film Festival, and then it went on to break records at the Academy Awards. Get this. It became the first film in history to be nominated for both Best Documentary and Best International Feature. It was a true phenomenon. But, you know, beyond all the awards and the rave reviews, the film's real legacy is the global conversation it started and the incredible impact it had on the life of its main subject. This deeply personal story, from this tiny, forgotten village, it somehow became a universal lesson. It got audiences everywhere thinking about where our resources come from, the real cost of consumerism, and the value of that ancient, sustainable wisdom. And for Hatice herself, the impact was just life-changing. The global attention from the film led to crowdfunding campaigns that actually provided her with a new, more comfortable home, giving her a measure of security she had never, ever known. And that brings us all the way back to that simple, powerful rule: half for me, half for you. In a world that is constantly telling us to take more, to grow faster, to consume everything, Honeyland leaves us with this really profound and urgent question. What could we save if we all just learned to take half?